If we ask ourselves, should we eat meat, we should first realize what meat actually is. It is a part of something that is dead, a thing that was once alive now isn't, because it was killed. This sounds a little bit drastic or hard, but this is in fact a process to get to what we eat or want to eat. If we eat a steak, we first need a cow. This cow has to grow, it has to eat, drink, sleep, and as soon as it gets old enough, it gets killed. Many people are pissed off as soon as they hear this, but it's just that simple. Grow, kill and eat. But is it that bad? An odd question to ask if it's bad to kill something. This is asked in hundreds of years. Descartes, a French philosopher living in the 7th century, wanted to separate the humans from every other animal. In his eyes, only humans have a soul, since speaking is a requirement for a soul, and only those who have a soul, and not only organs, like every other animal, can feel true pain. To prove his point, he grabbed the dog of his wife, nailed it to a board while still alive, and started to dissect it. He wasn't the only one who did this to prove some kind of BS, but hearing it, you probably think it was a barbaric and unnecessary act of cruelty. With this in mind, I'm sure we can all agree that animals feel pain. Also, a lot of animals know that they are going to get killed. There are dozens of stories in which cows escaped on the way to the slaughterhouse, panic in the crowds, and extreme aggression. Considering that everything we need for meat in our nutrition is also found in other animal-produced foods, like eggs, and the fact that other important substances are localized in the gristle, the skin, the liver, the heart, the brain and the bones, so things we don't eat very often or never at all, we should start thinking about to stop eating meat. On the other hand, nature is cruel. It is that simple. A monkey doesn't care ripping apart a rabbit and eating it while it still tries to crawl away. Orcas don't mind to rip apart a sea lion, and a crocodile would probably be happy to catch any part of a zebra. But only humans have the ability to think about it. Actually, no. Let's take the animal humans knows the best. The dog. Everybody with a dog will probably know what I'm talking now. If your dog wants something, he is showing it. He can bring a ball if he wants to play. He sits in front of the door if he wants to go outside. You can try it. Let a person place a treat somewhere your dog can't reach it. Let the person leave the room and then you enter it. The dog will likely get excited and run to the place staring at the treat, maybe barking or jumping while looking at your direction and then back at the treat. Dogs are not only able to speak with us in their own language, but they also, and here comes a tricky part, know that if they show you something, you will be smart enough to realize what they want. This is complex thinking and more than just empathy. Knowing your dog is able to do this and considering that a lot of monkeys are smarter than dogs, we could assume that they know exactly that they hurt the animal they are eating, but they just don't care. But as a human being, we should jump in right here. We should actually care. We should care if we're doing a lot of harm and pain, not only for one individual, but for everybody on this planet. On the way to a normal-sized steak, about 2.5 to 3 kilograms of CO2 is produced, which is in fact bad. So what's the conclusion? Should we stop? Personally, I think yes, we should stop. But this seems to be easier said than done. We should at least start to think about the consumption again and show respect to what we eat. Watching out for quality sears and eating meat only twice a week is a very good beginning.